Hey everyone, Shakarez here. Today, we're having a look at an old strategy that you might have seen Cloud9 revive in week 5 of the LCS Spring Split. Cloud9 ran a Senna Tahm bot lane, but unlike others we've seen earlier in the split, Sven started the match with a support item, while Vulcan started Doran's Ring on Tahm. They weren't the first ones to play with this setup, as Songyun did it in Challengers Korea, Phoenix did it in NA Academy, but this might have been the first time you saw it being played. In the meantime, it's been played a couple of times in the LCK as well, where the Korean cast has called it Fasting Senna. In Korean, players use the term eating instead of farming, hence Fasting Senna, since she doesn't farm. At the start of the split, Senna was extremely popular and potent in the bot lane position. As a result, she was nerfed to limit her dominance in that role without impacting her strength as a support too hard. So, in the past, Senna used to get a guaranteed miss drop on cannon minions she killed, and on 10.3 it went down from 100% to 1.67%. As a result, and with a much lower percentage chance of getting missed stacks while farming, Senna's presence in professional play dipped very hard, as it was now 1.67% for any minion killed. That includes minions killed with the Spoils of War passive that supports might have. Now, misstrafes are incredibly important for Senna. She can get them from minion and monster deaths, as well as for poking or outright killing enemy champions, and they give her permanent stats: attack damage, critical strike, extra range, and even lifesteal. Now, Senna does not gain attack damage per level like every other champion in the game, so if she's not getting missed consistently, she'll be weaker than your more traditional AD carry. As I just mentioned, the goal of the nerfs were to limit her strength as a bot lane ADC without impacting support. So, while cannons that Senna kills now only have a 1.67% chance of dropping missed, cannons she doesn't kill will always give her a stack. Besides that, regular minions that Senna doesn't kill now have a 25% chance of dropping misstrafes, up from 20%. In addition, she can get missed from hitting enemy champions, so that isn't changed. The argument can even be made that it's easier for Fasting Senna to accrue miss than a regular ADC Senna, given that Fasting Senna won't be farming, and she can just focus on poking opponents to get missed and proc her support poke item. So, in short, this essentially works very similarly to the old Sona Taric or old Sona Kench lanes, with the only difference being that the champion paired with Senna will not have a support item. Once the quest completes and with farming penalties removed, Senna can look to start farming to accelerate her gold generation, while the champion paired with her will have enjoyed a couple of minutes of farming in the early game to accelerate the first and potentially second item spikes. In Cloud9's game, Sven finishes the support item quest at the 15-minute mark. At this point, Vulcan has 1.6k gold over his support counterpart. So, how does missed stack farming look on a farming Senna versus a fasting Senna? From what I watched, fasting Sennas are usually getting around 1 misstraves per wave, 2 if it's a cannon wave. In C9's match, Sven hit 20 stacks at 5 minutes, 40 stacks at 10 minutes, 60 stacks at 15 minutes, 80 stacks at 19:30, and 100 stacks at 24:30. For a comparison, I looked at a very high kill match that Freeze played in 10.3 in the German league. It took him 34 minutes to hit 80 stacks that Sven hit in under 20. What about gold generation? Well, it's less guaranteed and lower income than you would get from farming, as you need to be harassing consistently to get your gold, but it doesn't seem to be much worse. In Cloud9's match, Sven was around 100 gold behind his counterpart and was as much as 300 gold behind, but as his team was ahead and they started getting kills and turret plates, he eventually pulled through and pulled ahead of his counterpart. While your gold income for items might be slightly lower, it's fair to say that you'll be accruing more gold from the stats you get from misstraves, as you'll get more drops from minions and can dedicate more time to poking lane opponents. What about the build? Given that your income is slightly lower early on and that the support item already grants mana regen, it's likely you will have no mana issues, so Muramana can be skipped. It's still opponent item and some players still build it, but just remember that will delay your other item spikes. I've seen a lot of Umbral Glaive first item, and this makes sense given the lower gold income for the early stages. It's a weaker lethality item in terms of pure damage, so going for Yumu's, Duskblade, or Edge of Night as your first items is also completely valid as well if you want to wait for that 500 gold difference. Anyways, thanks for watching. In a couple of days, I'll be releasing a separate video on Senna going over build optimization. I didn't want to keep it in this video as I realized that's a bit more niche and for a smaller audience, and I didn't want to bother the rest of you with nerd stuff. Anyways, see you next time.